Hello, everybody. Give me one moment while I get the camera situated. There we go. All right, so good. You can see that there are a lot of boxes on the table. This is going to be the one we're focusing on. So the purpose of this video, excuse the bad hair. The purpose of this video is I am selling, and it's not listed yet. I'll be listing it sometime soon after this video is completed. A copy of a Royal Founders Duke account level collector's edition for Shroud of the Avatar, not only still sealed, but still in the shipping box from the shipper with labels and all that on it. I'll cover that in a moment. To help you understand what's in here, what's different about this from other ones, and so forth, I will be doing a deep dive covering some different boxes I have and explaining the difference in the boxes and how they're being packaged as far as I'm able to discern and understand it. So a quick introduction to myself. My name is Stile Teckel. I have been a supporter of Shroud of the Avatar since previous to the Kickstarter. What I mean by that is prior to that, Portalarium was working on other games. They had blackjack, they had poker. They still may be running those. They also were messing with a game called Ultimate Collectors, something like that. Yeah, I think it was just Ultimate Collector, which was a garage sale collecting game that at the same time was exploring technology for an MMO, aka Shroud of the Avatar, except on a mobile platform, which has ended up with the net. Didn't be what they did. They instead ended up going with Shroud of the Avatar, thankfully. Anyway, I was supporting that to support the company, to support Richard, to support, hey, let's get this game, let's get a new Richard Garriott game. And so I have a blog I run. It is at the www.thecaverns.net. It has the dubious honor of being the oldest fan page of any type for Shroud of the Avatar. It was initiated on day one of the Kickstarter, and previous to the Kickstarter, I had been saving content for that blog to put out when the game did Kickstart and that sort of thing. Although, I didn't know what was going to happen. I was just saving stuff and had plans. Hey, when he does a game, I'm going to do a website. I'm going to do these things. It'll be cool. And he did a game, and I did things. It may not be what I originally planned, but it happened. So I'm going to do a screen share here for you. And if you go to that web page, and the best way to learn a little bit more about me is if you're interested. Why I'm a good person to come to for Providence, knowledge, information about this sort of stuff, is this webpage. This webpage goes back to the first day of Kickstarter, as I said. It does do other things now besides Shroud of the Avatar. I'm a gamer. I've been a gamer. I tell people I've been a gamer since the womb. My mom would go to conventions when she was pregnant with me, and then continuing after I was born. I started gaming probably, 5 years, 8 years old, and have never stopped. And that's why I have that magnificent game room you saw there. You go here and you pull up a portfolio scrapbook on the side menu system here. It will pull up, I haven't added anything to this in a long time, but it will pull up about the first 4 years of Shroud of the Avatar and my involvement. I've done that with, images with good lengthy long titles, but I became a Lord of the Manor. Recognition from Richard Garriott, projects I've been involved in, meeting Tracy Hickman, being on a Marquee Dragon show talking about Shroud of the Avatar, actually the first Marquee show that talked about Shroud of the Avatar of its type, helping launch Avatars Radio, which many are familiar with. So this isn't going to matter to a lot of you eBay buyers, but it sets my ability to talk about this intelligently, that I understand what I'm talking about, a little bit of providence about me, if you will, not only in my gaming background, but Shroud of the Avatar in particular. I still am involved in Shroud of the Avatar. I'm still an avid player. I love the game. It's a lot of fun. I may not always love Portalarium and some of the developers there. Others I do always love. So, that's a completely separate topic from the game. you know, I mean, I don't always like some of the decisions, but the game itself, I love the game. I plan on playing the game for as long as it's around. Unintentionally, never really planned on it. I did become a what would be the proper term here? I did become a real money transfer sales retailer for Shroud of the Avatar digital goods. Never planned. Just at one point, I sold some of my own stuff off and just kind of went from there. And I may at this point be the largest RMT digital goods reseller for Shroud of the Avatar. If you're interested in that, you can pull me up at caveloot.com. That's CAVELOOT.com, where I sell Shroud of the Avatar goods there as well as in other places. But again, this video is not about that. I'm mentioning it for basic purposes of understanding history, my involvement now, so you know a little bit about who you're buying from when you participate in this auction. You're not just buying someone that's in this for money, that resells things. You're a devoted fan, devoted player. I've been to Austin. I've met developers. I've stayed with them in their homes. I've had dinner with them. I've went to family events. I mean, you know, the list goes on. And I don't do much of that these days, but only because I started caveloot.com in 2014. I left my full-time employment in 2017, and I'm making a living as an entrepreneur, which means I just don't have the time for all that stuff anymore. So, but, you know, I'm still as involved as I can be virtually doing things like this. So I'm going to be putting this on eBay, and this is a Royal Founder Duke account. And I am putting it on eBay in the shipping box, unopened, with the paperwork unopened. All right, now I have a post-it note covering my name and address and so forth, but I have not marked over that to redact it. Whoever gets this will have my address. You know, I mean, I'm not going to redact that and hurt the value of any of this. This is an intact, shipped Royal Founder Duke. All right, let's see if we can get that. I want to talk about that a little bit. Okay, so you see over here where it will say the Royal Founder Duke if it comes into focus for you. Okay, now you will see up here where it says Pledge Title Lord of the Manor. Ignore that. That was an error that has occurred on every box that has shipped to everybody. They all say that. You have to go to the bottom of the fracture / invoice / packing list. I would call this a packing list, not an invoice. But to see that title down here, that is the title of the contents of this box. But there's more to understand, and this is where Providence is unique for how they did this. I'm not a fan personally as a reseller, as a lifelong collector. I've been collecting things my entire life, hence this game room around you. As an Ultima collector, as a Shroud of the Avatar collector, I'm not a fan of how they did this. Some people won't care. I think it's going to create too much possibility for forgery, for falsification, and for conning people. I personally am very ethical. I owe me being an entrepreneur and being happier in my life a large part of that from the Shroud of the Avatar community, developers, recognition for things I did, being exposed to different lifestyles from some great people, them imparting wisdom onto me and allowing me to see, you know, evaluate myself and what I do for a living. So I'm very, very ethical, especially when it comes to the Shroud of the Avatar community and people. I would never want to ever do anything, sell anything that someone would be unhappy with. But the way these were done is going to leave a lot of opportunity for scam artists out there. So please, please, please be very sure about what you're buying. And let's talk about that. Okay, so what you see here is, this is a Shroud of the Avatars. And I'm not going to focus in on all these. Just take my word for it for now. Founders Knight Marshall. Actually, let's start here. Founder Knight. Royal Founder Knight. Founder Knight Marshall. The one I am going to be posting on eBay. And for you eBay watchers that say, man, maybe he's going a little too depth. These are questions that still exist among a lot of people in the community. So this deep dive into this is not just for you, the potential buyer on eBay. This deep dive is also a historical piece. Well, maybe not historical because others will do them, but, you know, a piece for people to get in there and look and see what's going on with this. And, you know, and, of course, this one is the Royal Founder, Lord of the Manor. I'll grab my redaction post-it note. That over. Let's see, it's going to be, hopefully. Okay, so no secret among the Shroud of the Avatar community that I'm a royal founding lord of the manor. No, I'm not rich. Back when I did this, it was because of my involvement in the game and the recognition I had been getting, the opportunity. You know, I was granted a recognition by Portalarium and Richard Garrett for contribution to the success of the game and the company. And my family and I all decided it was something we needed to scrape together and sacrifice for. And then eventually, as I fell into being a real money trader, I have made my money back on that as a pledge. So it was kind of one of those things that worked out for me as a person that has to actually work every hour of every day, 7 days a week to barely scrape by making a living at this point. Worked out really well. So thank you. But going over these, all right. I have received these in the following order. First, I received the lowest level pledge, the Founder Knight. Then I received a Royal Founder Knight. Then I received the the Founder Knight Marshal. These two came together, the Royal Founder Duke and the Lord of the Manor. Okay, I think that's very significant. I don't think that's accidental. I think these have been shipping in order of lowest to highest pledge. So the more money you spent, the longer you're going to be waiting to get your physical rewards. And that's not commentary or an opinion about it. That's the way it is. That's how this is set up. All right. The less you spent, the sooner you got it. I believe maybe it was coincidence for me that this happened this order. Okay. I can't say, you know, how many people saw the same sort of pattern. One of the reasons I have so many boxes coming to me, I mentioned I am a real life money transfer trader and so forth. That does extend to this. There are people, especially some international folks, that contacted me ahead of time, said, can I use your address and will you sell my physical goods for me, and what sort of commission do you want? Because not only do I do virtual for a living, I do physical for a living. I'm actually running Hall of Heroes. I'm going to be in Elkhart, Indiana this weekend at Hall of Heroes Comic-Con in Elkhart, Indiana, vending a Hall of Heroes Comic-Con, selling gaming products, LARP products, cosplay products. So I do a lot of that sort of stuff for a living. Also, people that knew I do physical goods approach me. I said, maybe I should offer this to the community. It's good for me. It's good for certain people in the community, not everyone. And so I have physical rewards coming to me that do not belong to me. Some do, some don't. Everyone's supposed to be using a care of on their thing, and I don't want to show the address on this, but I'm happy this actually does have care of my name, with the addressee being the person who's pledged this with. This lets me know, hey, this belongs to this person. These 4 only came to me, and yeah, I had a lot of pledges. Actually, I won pledges. I won the referral runner-up contest where I won a pledge, and I won pledges from other things. And, you know, so I ended up with several pledges that I didn't even purchase, and kept those. So these 4 are my pledges. I should have one more coming, and here's where it might throw off my theory. I believe, I'm positive. Positive. The one I have coming is a Founder Lord Marshal, which is prior to the Lord of the Manor, and of course this Duke, but this Duke belonged to someone else, so that could kind of throw a wrench in there. So that could throw a wrench in the order series, or there's a problem in it that can get shipped to me, and I'm going to have an issue later where I got to contact Portalarium and say, hey, I didn't get this account. Hopefully it's coming, and maybe it's weird shipping or something. But that's my theory, is that they went lowest to highest, and I believe they did that for a reason, and that reason is supported by opening. And I only had to open one and look around online a little bit. I have opened big box, awesome nostalgia feel for, you know, those of you that remember the big box video games. So the one I opened was this Founder Knight, and I'm just going to do a real quick flip out up through the rewards, because you're going to see these things in this one that's going on eBay. All right, you have that map, cloth map. I'm just doing these quickly. I don't want to make this video 2 hours long. It's going to be a lot longer than I'm sure you would like, or that I would like already. But I believe this is important to cover this all in one video, and I feel this is a good video to do it. You get some books, you know, a manual, a blast from the past. Again, what you're going to get depends on your reward level, and I'm going to cover that a little bit more. Exactly was what I mean by that, because there's a little bit more to that, and that's where you got to be careful. You're not getting scammed. You're going to get a coin, possibly, you know, in the Ankh, which can be used as a necklace. Pretty small aperture on there for running something through, which someone commented, so it might need a bail. Quick reference card with you know, room translation on the back, and then specialty things like, you know, whether it's autographed or not autographed, and proper deeds and certificates and that sort of thing, as well as a game disc with music and soundtrack on it, if that's, you know, your pledge level. All right, so you'll notice that 3 of these over here, this is the only one that the actual box contents itself has been opened. Unsealed collector's edition, if you will. This is an opened, sealed collector's edition. This is sealed. This is sealed, but they have been removed from the packaging. These 2 are still sealed in packaging, okay? When these 2 were opened and removed from packaging, there were no other items, and I have the original videos if you want to go to my YouTube channel, which you can do by, you know, go to where this video is posted, so that you can actually see this box being opened. But if you go to those videos and watch, I opened these boxes, and this came out. Nothing else. Okay, now that's significant because this box, or this pledge level, and this pledge level come with very different items. There is some stuff in this pledge level that do not come in this box. All right, so that led to, there's 2 possible things. Did they just ship a copy of the same thing to everyone, regardless of your pledge level? Which, let's face it, people that spend a lot of money aren't going to be happy about that. They just devalue their product severely that they paid for. Or did they literally package these differently? Meaning that when these 2 boxes, and you'll notice how careful I am being about keeping these in appropriate, you know, matched up. Ultra careful. These have not left the packaging like this since I have gotten them on any of these. But anyway, so that means this box and this box side by side like this, okay? And I'm standing where you're going to keep those matched up. There's no way at all to tell the difference between these two pledge levels. This box has stuff in it, possibly, that this one does not have, or they put the same things in. Either way, there's just something going on. Now, since then, I have confirmed by watching on the internet, forums, you know, all my sources and places that I've established over the years, that people have said on this pledge level, I opened this box and these items were not signed. My map was not signed. Well, as you can tell, let me get it out here. As you can tell in this one I opened, this pledge level was supposed to get a signed map, and it has a signed map. So people that were not supposed to are saying they didn't. I didn't get a signed map. I opened the sealed box and there's no signed map on it. Question answered. They did not package them all the same. They did not devalue based on that information. That would mean that they packaged them differently, which would explain the shipping order, because they probably started out, here's the first tier, here's what goes in the box. How many tiers are going to be the same? That's our cutoff point. Package this many of those, pass them over to the shipping department. The shipping department sends out those tiers. Cutoff. Okay. Next tier, we need to remove this item, put this item in its place, or we need to leave everything the way it is, and we need to add this item now. Assemble, ship. That's my guess. That's probably why it went from lowest to highest, is because they're customizing the contents, and that's probably that. You know, I've been for those who don't know, I've been in purchasing, logistics, sales, marketing, that sort of thing my entire life. Inventory management, inventory analysis, inventory usage, contract negotiations, contract sourcing, but you know, basically business, company running, that sort of thing. And that's, you know, that's how I would do it running a business. If I was, you know, if I decided I wanted to put them all in the same box, which I wouldn't have done. Flat out, I would not do that. But if I was, you know, my boss said this is the way we want to do it, that's logistically how I would set it up. It makes sense. So That means the only way to tell the difference from this box and this box in the world is this one little line on this sheet that tells you what the pledge title is. This is a standard piece of white paper with the printout. This is so easy to photocopy, reproduce, whatever have you. You know, I mean, scan it in the Adobe erase that, figure out which font they used, and just put whatever pledge title you want, print a new one, fold it up the same way it was folded, and put it with the box. Guess what? I have 1, 2, 3, 5 Lord of the Manors here. You know, I don't. I'm not saying it. I'm saying that's what someone could do. Okay, and it is going to happen. It is probably already happening. Okay, as soon as people out there realize they can sell, this is a Lord of the Manor, there are going to, not a majority, not thousands, you know, but there will be at least one, if not 2 or 3, because there are bad apples in every barrel, and there's going to be people out there. I don't. For those that don't know, when you go to my eBay store to buy this, or bid on it, or look at this video, or have you're going to see I deal in collectibles, I deal in stamps, I deal in coins, I deal in postcards. I'm a 3rd generation collector in my family, with my grandfather had owning 2 hobby shops in his lifetime. That passion about collectibles and saving collectibles and how they earn an investment passed on to my mom. From my mom, it passed on to me. Okay, the difference between my mom, me, and my grandfather is I'm spending my life trying to get rid of it all, especially, you know, the stuff I've been collecting all my life, especially. You know, that's one of the ways I'm earning a living now, and I'm very happy. I get to do something I love for a living. But as a collector, I am all too aware of history and historical of how these sort of things work. And even a fake can be worth money when it, you know, it's presented as fake. Sometimes I don't see that happening from this. But for example, there's a set of Babe Ruth baseball cards that were done as a sheet, and then they were cut. And very, very rare, worth a lot of money, about $3,000-$5,000 for the set. I actually owned them as a kid, and they were stolen, but that's a different story. But I recently had a sheet of those, and I had to figure out, is this a counterfeit or is this the real? The counterfeit was worth $50-$60. Why? Because even the counterfeit is wanted because it's so hard and so expensive to get the original. Some people are well, you know what, I just want it in my collection. I'm okay if it's a fake. But you have to sell it as a fake. Originally, that wasn't the case. Someone was trying to steal money. But there aren't even that many of the fakes out there, so it's still worth some money as long as you can show that it's the original fake, the famous fake. Okay, so this sort of thing goes throughout history in every sort of collectible. So when you deal with collectibles, you have to be very aware as a buyer, you know, what to watch for. And unfortunately, with this, there's nothing you can watch for. There's nothing. You can fake this so easily and make it so perfect. There's no way to really determine a fake from an original, I don't feel, if you're good and have equipment. And, I mean, you can't fake the rest. It's a sealed box or it's not a sealed box. So that means if you buy a Royal Founder Duke on eBay, like I'm about to put up for sale, you will never know if that's what you're getting unless you open your sealed box. So we're probably going to see a lot more sealed boxes that have been opened for Shroud of the Avatar being sold than traditionally people might try to do when they're trying to make money from, you know, Kickstarter pledge and rewards that are becoming a collectible. And this is definitely becoming a collectible. So just be aware of that. And that's one of the reasons I've made this video. I've included that who I am, my involvement in Shroud of the Avatar. I'm showing you that I have multiple boxes. I'm showing you how to, and I'm talking about it because in a way I'm Providence because of my history and my knowledge. And not only that, but actions speak louder than words. And I have a proven track record in the community that is verified, that's verifiable, and that sort of thing. That shows I'm an ethical person. So, you know, and that I know what I'm talking about. And I'm not throwing all that out there as an ego thing. It's just I'm talking about the facts. And that's an example. If you're going to buy sealed, if it's, you know, you're not buying one from me, you should buy one from someone else, you know, that has some sort of provenance. that has a reputation if you don't plan on opening it. Because ultimately, if you don't plan on opening it, you're never really truly going to know unless you feel good about it. And the only way you're going to feel good about it is if you have someone showing you that has a reputation, you know, a good seller. I can say I will not sell these for anybody at this point unless it's coming from Portalarium to me so that I have that provenance. I know if someone contacts me at this point and says, I have some collector's editions, will you sell them for me? I can't. My reputation is backing a product that I cannot say for sure is what I'm being told it is without opening. Now, if it's open, you contact me and say, I have opens. Can you sell them for me? Yeah, I'll sell your opens all day long. My commission, by the way, well, shameless, 50%. Because physical goods, it's just like commission owning and earning in retail store goods. You're carrying inventory, you're packaging, I'm doing videos. I mean, come on, it's a ton of work. 50% is typical markup for commission of physical goods. Maybe 40, maybe 35, but usually 40 to 50 is typical. I'm going 50 because a lot of reasons in logistics. It's also what I typically charge when I eBay for people. eBay is a lot more work than people realize. It doesn't allow for a lot of sleep. So, but just make sure it's Providence, and that's why I'm talking about it and giving mine isn't so much to here's who I am. It's so that you understand this. What I'm doing is what you want to be looking for from a buyer when you're buying this. So it's my attempt at a public warning to everybody out there. Be careful. Don't get ripped off. Don't get a Lord of the Manor that you have sealed on a shelf for 5 years and you die and your son says, oh, I'm going to make a little bit of money, and then he does research and finds out the only way he can really sell it. So if he opens it and finds out dad was ripped off, or mom was ripped off. So just, you could throw scenarios out all day long. Just be careful, guys, okay? Be sure about what you're buying. Look at who's selling it. Look at their provenance. Look at their history. Were they around to make that pledge? Do they have a packing list with them? But keep in mind it can be faked. Who are they? What kind of reputation did they have in the community? Are they still playing? Will they share with you their forum name? And if they do a lot of trading in the game, you can go look at their profile where people will have left them positive or negative feedback about whether this person's an honest trader. At the end of the day, even I could be ripping you off. I'm not, but I could be. At the end of the day, there's going to be no 100% way to tell. But if you're going to risk it, be 90% sure, 95% sure. Okay. So now that we've covered that, no, I have not opened my Lord of the Manor box. I am not planning on it. This is going to go in my collection like that. This is going to go in my collection like that with the reference material kept separately. And this is my open box that I can hang the map. Play with the trinkets, hang the coin in my coin collections, and that sort of thing. So, I'm going to be keeping 3 of these. I am going to also be selling at some point this Founder Knight Marshall pledge, and I might as well mention that here because I'll use the same video later when I post it. Okay, so here we go. Founder Knight Marshall. This is the box. Again, I could have switched them. I tell you, it's never happened because I've been like, the most anally retentive person in the world about making sure that this stays together, and they do not get they stay in separate piles. They've been on this table since they had been opened from the shipping department. But that will be going up for sale some point. Like I said, I don't plan on selling the Lord of the Manor. If someone out there drops me a note and makes an offer to me that is obscene enough that I cannot say no, I might consider it. I mean, I struggle financially. If I got a pretty big offer on this, I would have to consider it from a standpoint. I try not to get attached to physical. To me, this is inventory. Not now, but, in the future. I'm enjoying it in my personal collections as something that I have a passion and collect about, while I sell other collections that I don't. But someday in my life, this is probably will be inventory that I sell. So, if a big enough offer came along, I probably would accept it. So, Don't be afraid to send me one, but it would have to be a pretty big offer because otherwise I want it to let it accrue value. And I'm counting on the fact of my Providence, who I was in the community, 10, 20 years from now, I can sell a Lord of the Manor like this, and people will feel it's genuine, and I'll be able to get top dollar, especially with it still being in shipping boxes and all that kind of stuff. And in the meantime, I'm going to be really proud and happy to have it among my collection, which is probably one of the largest Shroud of the Avatar collections out there currently. So it's a good item for me. But so what I am selling immediately, hopefully if I can get to it within a few hours after this video, will be this Royal Founder Duke. Okay, and I've covered everything now. You understand. I want to do a screen share to show you what's different now about this one specifically. All right, and I'm going to go to a spreadsheet that shows you what comes in this. So pop up here, screen share, pop over to my other monitor here, and here we go. So this is a Shroud of the Avatar. For those of you who aren't aware of it, slow to pledge rewards, and you can go if you want to get that link there. You can go and out there and pull that up yourself. It's actually there's what I can I still post that? No, well, you can drop me a note if you need the link. Let's do that. If you need that link, you just drop me a note and I'll get it to you. I'll try to put it. Comment on the YouTube video if you want that link, and I'll post it on the YouTube video. Otherwise, I'm not going to take the time because no one may want it. But so this was originally made by a member of the community named Sir Frank Baxley. Frank is a fantastic, amazing guy. He's one of the best individuals I've met from the community. He's become a personal friend of mine. And he's also responsible for making that coin that you get in that box. He's in your hands, I guess you could say. He touches the hands of every player out there. He's had that much of an effect on the game. So what we're looking at is we're coming over here, and there's your Duke pledge. There's your Lord of the Manor. There's your Lord of the Manor 2. There's your Duke, okay? Titles don't matter. That's in the game. We're talking physical rewards. Property deeds don't matter right now. We're talking physical rewards. Houses, again, that's in the game, okay? Digital items is exactly what they say. These are items in the game. This is for physical rewards. Digital rewards in the game. Emotes in the game. All right, there we are. Physical rewards, which is all the way at the bottom. You'll also see here in the footnotes that this was, it's in here. There you go. Originally created by Sir Frank, maintained and modified and maintained by Coldar now. I also was the original distribution source for this too. See it here. All right, so physical rewards. All right, so let's just, all we're concerned about is the Duke. Is the Duke getting something that nothing else gets? Yes, it is, right here. City property deed signed, okay? So this Duke account that I just showed you in this box, inside of the sealed collector's box, it should have a keep property deed signed. And there's only going to be 3 boxes that will have that. The Duke, the Lord of the Manor, and the Lord of the Manor 2. If you are getting the sealed collector's edition from a Baron 3, guess what? It doesn't have the, I'm sorry, I said city earlier. It doesn't have the keep property deed with it, okay? So it does have the city property deed, because the higher level pledges get the lower level pledges stuff also, okay? So when you're up here, you're getting everything. If you are, here, you get all the stuff. If you're a royal founder, Lord of the Manor, you get that and all the way down, okay? The Lord of the Manor 2 didn't get that because, they didn't want to keep having people, or because there was a limited number of copies and they replaced it with that. That was kind of a weird one. And actually, keep in mind, the Lord of the Manor, I don't know if it will have that Alcalabeth in there because they did give a lot of those out person to person, and we're going to track that. But anyway, the Duke is therefore significantly different sealed than any of the other boxes. There it is. This has a keep deed in there, signed, supposedly. If I'm not ripping you off, which I'm not, and if they didn't mess up when they packaged it, which from so far all the evidence I've heard out there, I've heard of very, very few concerns. Now, I did hear one concern, and it's never been fully substantiated, that someone thought their seal was on the plaster wrap. And I say not substantiated because it's possible they made a mistake on a few. Mine have been okay. On the other hand, man, I tell you what, you can easily mistake that for being on the outside just because of the detail that kind of flows through. It feels like it's on the outside, you know, but you can carefully tell by just kind of sliding the foil like that. Don't rip it. All right, I think that covers everything. You understand what I'm auctioning is a Royal Founder Duke. You understand why you may not know that. You understand my providence and substantiation and what's coming in this box. As far as starting price goes, we're starting this at $1,000. Is that a, you know, who knows? No one else has done this. No one else has put this box up. No one else has sold a collector's edition yet in the shipping box. They're being sold like this, or they're being sold opened like this one. Okay. Maybe there's some packing lists out there that are being included. I haven't focused on that too much, but I haven't seen any glaringly obvious ones. So this is a very unique auction. Additionally, it's a $5,000 pledge is what it took to acquire this. Now, it wasn't the only thing you got in the $5,000 pledge. So what portion of that $5,000 is this worth? I don't have that answer. Is it 1,000? Is it 2,000? Is it 2,500? Or is it 50 bucks? Okay. Only, you know, the eBay buyers are going to be able to determine that, as well as, you know, the collectors and the substantiated and getting that market trend, what people are willing to pay based on supply and demand. Simple economics guided by the invisible hand of Adam Smith. So, you know, it's just simple economics by the godfather of economics. So you're going to decide. If it doesn't get any bids at 1,000, I'll repost. I'll be honest, I'm going to repost it at a lower price. But, you know, don't be hesitant because someone might snipe it from you if you say, well, I'll wait until you repost. You have someone else says, hey, I'm going to grab it because everyone's waiting until they repost, and boom. Don't play with eBay. If you want it, bid on it. If you're willing to pay that much, because otherwise you could miss it. But I'm going to do auction on this one to let the market establish a little bit of value because we don't have it established yet. So there it is. I'm going to shut us down, and thanks once again for joining one of my videos, whether you're one of the eBay buyers that are looking to purchase this, or whether you're one of the collectors or other people that paid for one of these that have it coming, that want to understand exactly what you're getting, why, what's in it, what the differences are, what to be concerned about, or future eBay buyers that may watch this that wanted to understand. Goodbye, and let's talk to you soon.